Hey everyone, Dylan here, real quick. Just gonna throw this in as I'm editing it because I had something else here, but whatever. Yeah, this will be the review for WWE Friday Night SmackDown of January 7th. I recorded this as it was live, but so if anything's like thrown off, just please forgive. Just work with me. Also, we're gonna have a bunch of videos uploaded, but I'll explain that whenever I eventually upload the AEW video of the 19th. So just work with me there. Anyway, here's the review. All right, we have the show opener recapping Monday for some reason. Forget the brands going against each other and brand supremacy bullcrap. And then we get an opener for the Morgan Sun Arena in Connecticut, where they are right now, apparently. And Roman Reigns comes out. He talks up how he never wanted to see Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar again. And then Lesnar shows up with Paul and title in hand. Well, let me, like the title in hand, not Paul's. What Anyway, he then gets into the ring and Paul tries to say his normal stick, but Brock cuts him off and says it himself, then mockingly tells Reign to acknowledge him. Like, just in that tone, too, ringer included. I'm a professional. He then talks about how they both have what they want, so let's give everyone else what they want, a champ versus champ match. Reigns says good idea, but not his idea on his show, so it wouldn't work. Heyman then runs down Reigns for a bit and sounds like a bitter ex until he casually says like Brock couldn't beat Roman. And then Brock faces Paul and he's like, "What did you just say?" And then they kind of get into it for a bit until Reigns is like, "Hey, you need to treat Paul better." And then Superman punches Lesnar in the face, and we go to the next segment as as Reigns leaves the ring. Then we go to backstage where Rick Boogs is mimicking playing the guitar, and then we get apparently a match after the break for Shinsuke and Sammy. When we come back, they apparently replay what just happened in the opener there between Brock and Reigns. Then Sammy has a promo backstage that ends up with him walking towards Johnny Knoxville. He runs him down saying like he hasn't even qualified for the Rumble, which apparently that's a thing you got to do even though no one else has. Anyway, the match ends with Zayn losing by a roll up when Knoxville comes out and distracts. Oh, I'm sorry. Knoxville then comes out and throws him over the ropes and apparently qualifies for the Rumble. Ooh. We then get a promo where New Day talks up their street fight for later on in the night. Then Charlotte comes out, says a bunch of New Year goals, and says basically all the New Year's goals that the fans create will never happen, blah, 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 hill heat. Then she talks about how she's going to be the first champion in the Rumble. No, not the first. And they give away all the freaking participants, so who even cares about surprises anymore, man? Then after Charlotte says she's going to enter the Rumble, Naomi comes out and challenges her for the title there. And Charlotte basically says, what does she think she's done to deserve a match against her? Then Naomi slaps the shit out of her, and she's like, well, I did this, and then they have a match. It's a long match, but basically the match keeps on breaking apart because one of it ends with Naomi wins by count out until Sonya comes out and says that we're not having any count outs. And then after some wrestling later, Charlotte holds figure four past the ref's count, and Sonya's like, oh yeah, by the way, can't win by DQ either. And then the match eventually ends with the champion winning. It was a hell of a match. It lasted like 3/4 of the show. Then we get a promo from the Usos about their street fight later. Then Happy Corbin comes out for promo time, and I think it's his talk show, The Happy Talk. We come back to a promo with what happened later. Then we go to the managers in the back arguing over what's happening on their show, and by the end of the night, they have to pick an opponent for Reigns at the Rumble. Anyways, back to the ring, we have Happy Talk. They basically recap what happened on day one with McIntyre and how they broke his neck or whatever. And then Mad Cat comes out dressed up as Drew. Normal cringe comedy. Viking Raiders come out and they have a match. And for some reason, Mad Cat and Corbin win over the Viking Raiders. And Sheamus has a promo explaining what happened recently with his protege that I'll never remember the name of, how he got his nose broke. I hope he's okay. Then he says that Sheamus says he's going to enter the Rumble. Then we go to our main event between the New Days and the Usos. Okay, so we have an ad, and then we come back, and Pierce informs Reigns that he's going to have an opponent later, but Reigns doesn't care, and then we have the Usos fight. After a very fun back and forth match, the Usos end up winning, I believe. I didn't write it down, but I think the Usos. No, maybe the New Day won. I don't know. One of them won, you know. Anyway, we go to a backstage camera, and you hear, like, on the door, you hear a... That was almost in rhythm until the end. Anyway, you hear that, and the door opens, and then Seth comes out. Sorry, and then it pans over to Reigns looking at Seth, and Seth does the, like, you know, that laugh. That laugh, and that's how we end the show. I'll be honest, up until the ending, literally the only thing, minus the fun, like, street fight between the Usos and the New Day, the only thing really to watch the show for was any of the Roman Reigns stuff. But hey, isn't that normal anymore? If I could rate this show, it would legitimately be very low. And honestly, you remember that time period a while ago before I got sick, where it was like, I got tired of watching wrestling shows. So I was like, you know, until something interesting happens, I'm basically not going to review WWE anymore for a bit. And I kept that for maybe like a week. I'm not saying I'm going straight back to that, but it's so tempting with shows like this sometimes, man. Anyways, thanks for watching.